Welcome to Season 6 of the Long-Winded One podcast. This is Spoiler Sessions, LitRPG, the only show where spoilers don't spoil anything. We're digging into fan theories, side characters, and the lore authors left in the drawer.
All right, everyone. Welcome to episode 29 of Season 6. I have a friend with me today. I have two friends, or one that I hope will be my friend. But Reck and I, we go back about a year now, and I'll tell you how I met them at LitRPG Con, and we have some folks in the chat. So welcome everybody in the chat. Reck Well of Stumbling Up fame and Potions and Perils. Welcome to my podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jared. I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah,
it's nice being on this side of the microphone. It's fun.
It's like there's like no worry when you're on that side of the microphone. Yeah. Well, I have a special guest for you tonight, and usually I draw out the suspense a little more, but they've been patiently waiting in the I don't know what this platform calls the green room, maybe. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to invite them, and okay, are we ready? Here we go. All right. Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
So Jeremy Frazier, one of the narrators of Stumbling Up, is here with us. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Excited to do this.
Excited to have you here, Jeremy.
Somebody's saying, I need that shirt. Are we wearing the same shirt, Jeremy?
Oh, you guys are.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the one not wearing this slug
It's
shirt.
the best shirt.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, let me pull up the comments here so I can just keep up with some of these. This is awesome. So Rex in chat, we have Alicia, we have Gary, SC is in the house, BJ's here. Nice. Welcome everybody. Okay, well, on this podcast, we were just talking about this. We delve into your books. But I start every episode out by giving a countdown to LitRPG Con. If you can believe it, we are 5 weeks away.
It is crazy. It's gonna be here like in a snap.
Yeah.
I have so much to do still.
So what are you bringing? Are you both bringing something to LitRPG Con? I know you are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm helping organize the indie author booth, right? And so there's a lot of like booth stuff that's going on. But yeah, I've got slugs in the work. There's stickers. There's, may or may not be shirts. I don't know. We'll see if I can land the shirts. It's a lot. Yeah, right now.
How many suitcases are you bringing?
Yeah, I'm driving in because in the Midwest, you just drive. So it's going to be a carload.
Well, I think people that like our genre don't mind car trips very much. Mm-hmm. We get to listen to people like Jeremy serenade us and read our favorite books to us. Mm-hmm. Jeremy, are you going to be there with us?
Oh yeah, I'll be there. I'll be a panelist. I'll be moderating a couple panels.
Ooh.
Waiting to see who's on those panels.
Yeah,
so that I can be prepped and ready. So yeah, a lot to do.
So the panel notifications went out this week, and I just double checked with Geneva, and I said, can we talk about this? And she said, give us a few days in case they need to make any changes. So folks in the chat, we can't really talk about that stuff right now, but we will. I'm sure we'll all be talking about it very soon, as soon as we can.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Super excited to talk about the panels. They're going to be fun this year.
Yeah. My first question to Jeremy would be, which ones are you moderating? But I can't ask that question. That would be too many spoilers.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everyone, we're gonna get right into this. Put your questions in chat if you have them. Again, it's great to see everybody there. I have a few questions. We actually have more than we're going to be able to cover. But I want to start off with this one. Richard calls the system a world-class dick. And now we were referring to Stumbling Up, and we were referring to the fanged banana slug. And I'm going to ask Reck, obviously, to give us like just a 10,000 foot overview before he answers this question of what Stumbling Up is about. But here's the question. Is the system a neutral mechanical force, or is it a sentient entity with a personal agenda against Richard and his team?
I think, Jeremy, you should answer a little bit of this because the system's like one of your favorite voices to do.
I do love the system, and I love the systems around. And I mean, we get to interact in the first book a bit, and kind of meet him. So absolutely, the system has an opinion, and has a big opinion about Richard.
Yeah. I mean, it's not so much about Richard's party, it's their association with Richard. And there's a history, and I've got a ton of notes about maybe these prequels that focus on Richard's life prior to meeting Cole. But yes, him and the system were definitely old acquaintances that have very deep opinions about each other.
I like it. And I also like the irony of Richard calling someone a world-class dick. That's pretty funny to me.
Yeah. It's one of those situations where they're almost too much alike to, they just can't get along.
So I have a question about Richard's voice. I love Richard's voice, and I don't know if you've ever heard this before. Or I hope you won't be offended by it because it makes me smile every time I think of it. So Richard's voice reminds me. I think it's described as a dry voice somewhere in the text, and it reminds me every time I hear it. Have you ever seen American Dad? And Roger the alien.
Yeah.
There's something about that. I just love it. I don't know. Did anyone else feel that way, or do you see the similarities there, or am I just making this up?
We had talked about getting the voice, and what's the name of the comedian? We kind of pulled. I can never remember his name. Paul Lind.
Yeah.
And was pulling on that, and I think I was just a little ways into the book, and I went, "Oh, you know what this feels a lot like is Richard from American Dad, or from American Dad. Yeah, the alien from American Dad. Yeah.
Really? Oh,
yeah, absolutely. I started to feel that, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that gives me a better feel for kind of how some of the stuff is going to sit. I got it.
I honestly I hadn't heard that anywhere else. It was just that was my take on it. That's cool. That's very cool.
You are absolutely correct.
All right.
Yeah, that's score one for Jared.
Yeah, nice. Oh yeah, we have some folks chiming in on that. Yeah, perfect. Okay, well, the first question had to do with kind of so that was question kind of part 2, Jeremy. But the first question had to do with Richard and his background, and I want to ask more. I want to sort of delve into that, which is, can you tell us whether Richard, and I guess this has come up a lot, Reck, right? If Richard is really immortal, and has he always been a slug?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So, in the world, immortal. So you start off, as a mundane, right? And you can become an adventurer. Then you can become a hero. Then you can ascend to be like an immortal. And then there's a space beyond that we haven't really learned about yet.
If you don't die.
Yeah. If you don't die. Right. And immortal is, you've ascended. It doesn't mean that you can't necessarily at all die, but it does mean that you have like longevity in life, and you have, it's a lot harder to kill you. Other heroes and adventurers really can't touch you or whatever. So he's definitely like semi kind of god territory, but he's also banana slug. So what, how can he really influence the world? So we've met other immortals. So Revos is an immortal. The system is technically an immortal, and that's one of the themes, is that the team just kind of keeps running into these like immortal like beings that were the heroes from the last age that survived, right? And so they're kind of dealing with the fallout from what happened like before. So yeah, but there's still, we're in book 3. I'm actually writing a Death of Immortal, so to speak. So you guys will have to stick around to book 3 to see who dies. But
Death of an Immortal. Wow.
Yeah.
So you mentioned book 3. We're talking about book 1. Book 2 is actually coming out June 19th.
Mm-hmm.
And is that coming out in both forms on the 19th, or just Kindle and paperback?
So it's coming out Kindle paperback, and then the audio will shortly follow, probably within the week. It's one of those things with Amazon, you can't really, like, it has to go through their gates. So it'll be live within a week or so. And so I mean, as simultaneous as you can get.
We all know how helpful Amazon is with indie authors, and just really wanted to give you the ability to thrive.
Yeah.
What's crazy to me is as big as ACX and Audible is, obviously Amazon, how much stuff has to be done manually, right? Like if you want to, there's some meta tags you can do to tag more than one narrator, which we'll talk about here in a second, but you have to manually request a pre-release date, right?
Through email.
Right? If you want to do, like, other than just giving away codes, like if you want to do like a promotional period, you have to fill out a form, right? Like it's a manual, everything is manual process. There's no button, right? They have buttons where you can opt your books into these new programs, but no buttons where you can, like, do all these other things.
It's wild too, because it's really set up for still like trad publishers who maybe have the audiobook done like months and months ahead of time, right? And they're on this like trad publishing release cycle of a book a year or whatever. And so the indies that are kicking books out a lot quicker really struggle to kind of fit into that system. So
yeah. Well, I mean, it's easier now that I know how it works, but kind of going into it cold was a little bit tough. I also struggle. I don't know if you've ever struggled with this. Is kind of, it's a good thing I'm close to my narrators, right? Because it really does take some coordination as an indie author. Like, okay, I'm done with this step. Can you do the next step? Right?
Yeah.
Back and forth.
Yeah. Jeremy and Jessica have been awesome.
Yeah.
Working through a lot of that bits and helping educate me, because Stumbling Up 1 was my first audiobook I had done. So yeah, there's all those stumbling blocks you were talking about. All that stumbling up happened with Stumbling Up 1.
So Jeremy, and Reck, so the question, so this book, Stumbling Up, and I'm hoping Stumbling Up 2 will be voiced by the same two people. So Jeremy and Jessica 3. Are you going to continue with that through all of the books, or going forward? As far as you can see?
I mean, that's the plan for Stumbling Up, is to continue with Jessica and Jeremy. And I mean, we all know how horrible it is to have narrators switch, and Jeremy and Jessica are doing an awesome job. So more power to it. I think that eventually, and this is no knock on Jeremy or Jessica, because they're just popular narrators, we're going to have some struggle getting into the like, either I can't write fast enough for the slot that they have, or they can't narrate fast enough for when book whatever is done. So we'll probably not be able to do simultaneous releases every single time, but yeah, I mean, it's still going to be it's going to be good.
And so I want to know more about this. We'll get back kind of to the main set of questions that I sent you, Reck. But I'm so curious about this, because Stumbling Up does something that not a lot of books do, right? Like I've heard books where one chapter will be narrated by one person, the next chapter will be narrated by the other, but that's not what happens in Stumbling Up, right? You actually go back and forth in a chapter, like sometimes from sentence to sentence. How did you record that? Did you have to be together?
We've gotten to know each other, so we've been friends to kind of know how we're going to play things a little bit. But a lot of it is, I'm sitting in the booth with a little clicker, and I will read up until a spot where Jessica has to say something, and then I sit and wait, and kind of in my head I'll say it, and then I give this little I have a little clicker that kind of puts an obvious sine wave out, and then I respond to that clicker, basically. So if you listen to my raw stuff, it's all the narration and just no female voices at all, and then she'll go and record all of her stuff, and our editor will splice them all together.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are gluttons for punishment. That sounds so complicated. I can't even imagine. And then who does the mastering and the editing? Like how does that, Reck, do you do that yourself, or Jeremy, do you put it all together?
Oh, we hired an engineer to do that. That's what her job is. She gets that stuff and puts it all together.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That makes, Oh yeah, we have some nice comments in chat about it. And I'm going to get totally sidetracked. I could keep talking about audiobooks. I'm going to bring us back though to the questions about the actual story. And Jeremy, feel free to sort of chime in here with these. The next question is about off-worlders. And I'm curious about how widespread the presence of off-worlders are, and if the system is actually like conscripting people, so to speak, from Earth. Can you talk to that?
Yeah. So at book 1, we meet 2 people that are off-worlders, Meredeath and Ash, and there's a hint that there's maybe some older off-worlders that have acclimatized into the system, but it's a pretty, I don't know, some people caught it, some people didn't. Book 2, we don't tackle it too much. Book 3, you get like a whole cast of off-worlders, and it's like, oh, this conspiracy of off-worlders goes a lot deeper. But yeah, the system in book 1, you get to meet the system in person in the Library of Alta, is where the like mainframe for the system is housed, and it's under attack. There's this like the corruption in the world. There's like 2 forces. There's the side that our heroes are on and the system's on, and then there's the corruption, the corrupted version of the world. And the library is getting attacked, and it's okay, but it's not doing amazing. In book 2, you get another slice out of the system, and you realize that it's actually a little bit more dire than everybody's making it out to be. And so part of what you learn is that the system is bringing in these off-worlders to try to help rebalance the world and gain better footing against corruption. And it's done this multiple times in history. And there's maybe like some skill ups and stuff that happen to off-worlders that just regular people from the world don't have, just because, yeah, it's kind of maybe the wondering in effect, where the off-worlders have ideas and thoughts about how magic might be used or worked that people that have grown up with the system don't have. So they tend to be rule breakers.
Yeah, that's always interesting to see how that works out. We have a question here. Will we see events on Earth? Are they connected somehow?
So the current crop of heroes that have been isekai'd through very specific events that you kind of get like hints and stuff about. The previous generation, it was just the magic was a little bit easier. The system had more magic to bring people in. So yeah, I mean, you're gonna get some more on that. We're not necessarily gonna go to Earth though and find out what's happening on Earth. I'm not gonna do a He Who Fights with Monsters. I mean,
spoilers.
yeah, we're not gonna go back to Earth, but there's flashbacks and some of those mysteries and just slowly get kind of revealed. Yeah.
Well, I want to applaud you for fully embracing spoiler sessions. Some people they talk about things, but they kind of dance around the answer, and it's hard to follow sometimes. Not me. When I'm on a podcast, somebody asks me a question, I'm like, let's talk about this. So I applaud that. So in relation to what we were talking about, the off-worlders, I have another question. Is it possible that Meredeath's sister is also in the world?
Yes. So you do find out, I think in book 2, I don't know, Jeremy, help. I'm like, everything's munging together. I think it's in book 2, but definitely in book 3, you find out that Lily is in the world. Yeah.
I don't think it's in book 2.
Okay. So yeah. Beginning of book 3, you find out. So yeah. There's a bunch of choices that Meredeath makes in book 2 and 3 that you're like, why? And it all comes back to this, like, she is very desperate to find her sister. But she's playing it off in book 1 and 2. It's like everything's fine, but she's really just like a hot mess on the inside. Yeah.
Well, I have a question for Jeremy about these folks that we're talking about. So you actually have characters in the book that are from different regions of the United States, right? I think isn't somebody from Kansas and somebody's from like Oregon or something. So does that kind of change how or do you do more personality when you're trying to pick voices for the characters?
Personality is really what I'm focusing on with all those, especially with them being I mean, very light regional accents, if you know, when you're getting into that kind of stuff. If you're having somebody that specifically is from the Bronx, or somebody that is definitely, you know, Texas or the South, that we want that, like, good. But a lot of the rest of the U.S., you know, you just kind of have a general easy accent and focusing on the building the characters and who they are.
Yeah. Did you see this comment, Reck?
I was laughing. I was smiling about it. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because I picked Kansas because I'm living in Kansas now, and I picked Oregon because I've lived out in the Pacific Northwest before. It helps that the accents are not strong, so it's not like a dead giveaway. But it's crazy. Morgan, I was talking to Morgan last week, and she's like, "This is a Wizard of Oz remake." She had this whole theory about how each character, you know, you've got like the one without a heart is Meredeath, the one without brains is Leo, the one without, you know, like she had this whole. I was like,
that's deep.
And she's like, and you put her from Kansas. And I was like,
you just got to go with it.
I'm like, okay, yeah. I mean, maybe I need to think about that a little bit deeper. Yeah. The
That's
assistant
crazy.
is the wizard.
You just changed my whole. Wow, you changed my world there. They're saying now.
Yeah, right. I mean, now that she said it, I'm questioning myself.
It's like what they say about Harry Potter and Star Wars. It's like, it's hero that goes to live with their, you know, aunt and uncle, wise old mentor, right? Okay, kind of. Richard equals Toto.
Richard would be just appalled. He was pissed. He would be pissed.
That's funny. All right. So I have a few more questions, and I'm gonna just put this out there so you can be thinking about it, because at the end, I want to know from each of you. You know, I want to know what's coming up that you can tell us about. And it doesn't have to be, Jeremy, if you have other projects that you're excited about, you want to talk about, you know, we'll do that at the very end. Sound good? You certainly don't have to, but so be thinking about that. So the next question I have is, let's see here. This one is, did Richie save Leo's life?
Yes, 100%. The original outline. And it's funny because it's Richie and also Jeremy, but it really was Richie at first. Richie was a big fan of Stumbling Up, and he was reading along, and I was like, who's your favorite character? And I had this whole map for book one where the end of book one, Leo dies, and he's like, my favorite character is Leo. He's so awesome. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, I can't drop kick Richie as a, you know, into the abyss by killing his favorite character in book one. So yeah, maybe that happens later, maybe not, but yeah, he totally saved Leo's life.
So shout out to Richie from Richie's Players Guild.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah. And then what's funny is Jeremy, like Leo's your favorite, like at least in book one, was your favorite character too for most of it. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, there's something.
Jeremy, did you go in cold did you talk with Reck at all before you started, or do you read through it first, or how do you go into a book like this?
I did talk to Reck a lot. I read through a good chunk of the beginning of the book. I have a prepper put together a summary of everything that's happening, a summary of each individual chapter, and so I can get through all of that. And then Reck and I did a video call where I just kind of asked questions about what was happening. What do you think about these people? And kind of get notes about where things were kind of going and how the story would kind of flow. And then there is definitely still a bit like I can take all of that information, all these ideas, and even all the story that I know of, and it's still sitting down and in the first couple chapters starting to feel how things just flow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't go in cold. I do try to have a lot of information when I get started.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was super impressed with Jeremy's professionalism and, like, you know, taking feedback and notes and like be like, what do you think of this voice for Rich? You know, some of the main voices we talked about and stuff. And yeah, it was awesome working with him on that.
So how did you two meet? Was it at the con or after the
Yeah,
con? Or?
we met at the con, but we at that point weren't gonna do narration together, and we had like a mutual friend that was like, "Oh, you should think about each other." I was like, "Yeah, okay." And then listened to some of Jeremy's narration, and yeah, he's top notch, and had worked with Jessica before, and yeah, just it all worked out.
So Reck, I met you at the con last year, and we got off to kind of a rocky start. Not for any other reason
Yeah.
other than technical difficulties.
Yeah.
And I recorded a bunch of these videos, and the Wi-Fi, just in case you're wondering what the Wi-Fi is like, it works, but it doesn't work very well for streaming.
Yeah.
And so like the beginning of my videos would be sometimes cut off, the end of the videos would be cut off, or sometimes they didn't work at all. And that was the case with Reck. So I had to reach back out and say, "Hey, I'm really sorry. Can we
re-record this?" Yeah.
And so the only video from the conference that was re-recorded, and it actually wasn't filmed at the conference, was with Reck, and the rest is history. And we've gotten a chance to work on a lot of things together, and it's been great.
I think that's maybe a lesson for all of us, like podcasters and stuff, is like streaming live at the convention is really tough. Unless it's like 3 a.m. in a fire, but
I'm hoping not.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I saw Michael Chatfield's post. He's on his book tour, and he posted something about a fire in New York City, and he's like, "It's following me around. This is my hotel room." Yeah. Well, guys, folks, we have folks in the chat. We have time for probably one more question before we talk about everything that's coming out and when it's coming out. If you have another question for us, please put it in the chat. I have a bunch more that I could ask, but maybe we'll save those for when book 2 does pop, Reck, and we can talk about that then. We have folks saying in the chat that they're staying at a different hotel. I think it's totally full at this point, probably.
Yeah, it's smart. The people that slept at different hotels did not have that long that long a night that night, that long a con.
So we have one more question about Richard, and you can interpret this however you'd like to. Does Richard get around?
He does get around. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's made some enemies by getting around.
Look at that face. Come on.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, I want to know, and we'll start with Jeremy here. What do you have going on? What's coming out? What can we expect from you, and where can we find you?
You can find me on most of the social media sites. I'm mostly on Facebook, Jeremy Frazier VO. I do have a TikTok that I do sometimes go on, and I have recorded live on a little bit. I'm on Discord and all that. It's hard to remember sometimes where I'm at in processes. I'm currently recording Ruin Forged Architect by Malik Mark, which is a lot of fun. It's a bit of a base builder kind of story, which I like a lot. And then I've got a couple new series that I'm starting the next few months. And one of them that I'm really excited about is Dungeons and Deliveries, which is about a guy who gets a job at a pizza shop and delivers pizzas to a lot of the boss monsters in the dungeon.
That sounds fun.
Oh, man.
That one will be a lot of voices and a lot of fun.
Oh, man. Yeah. So how do you do you have like a multiple page character summary for something like that?
And the author actually sends it to me and initially apologizes every time. He's like, "Hey, sorry, but there's going to be all of this weird stuff now and all of this stuff." So 2 of the main characters are kind of Italian grandma and grandpa, and just really strong accents and over the top, and then a bunch of little monsters I think it's going to be a lot of, they're going to have to talk in this kind of way, and they have all of these weird physical issues, so figure it out.
Well, good luck.
You like that stuff, though. Yeah.
Oh, I do. It's a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Jeremy
It's really a lot
actually,
of fun.
we get like another monster kind of companion in book 2, and Jeremy actually fought like, no, I want to voice. I want to voice this monster. I don't want it to be Jessica. I want it. And yeah.
Nice. Well, people love the sound of that book, Jeremy. The book
I
series, it
appreciate
sounds
it.
like. Yeah. Well, Rick, what about you? So we have a book coming out here, Stumbling Up Book 2, June 19th.
Yep. Stumbling Up Book 2, June 19th. I've got the author copy here. It's a gorgeous cover by Morpheus again. About the same thickness as book 1. Book 3 is on Royal Road and Patreon, so I'm about a third of the way through. I'm hoping that like the physical digital release is probably going to be sometime in like late August, early September, probably more September, honestly, with the con schedule this summer. And then we'll have audio before the end of the year. So
You and I are on the same schedule, it sounds like.
yeah, right. We need to do some like co-release parties online.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. And then I've got another Royal Road series that's going to be spinning up here in the next 3 months called this. So this is a spoiler because most people don't know about it yet, but it's called Chicken with a Gun, and it is another absurdist comedy. It's gonna be wild.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. So, but that will be launching. I don't know. I've started it. I'm trying to get ahead in chapters before I post it on Royal Road, so it's going to be a couple months still. But yeah, Chicken with a Gun. It's gonna be awesome.
It just cracks me up. Oh man. Well, so we have for the podcast, we have Shirtaloon next Sunday. So come join us for that. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. So Breaking of Anoon, my book comes out June 15th on Audible. So look for that. We have a lot of cool narrators: Neil Helligers, RJ Bailey, Aria Jacobs, Chris Tucci. Because I am also a glutton for punishment.
Those sound engineers are getting a workout.
Yeah, for sure. So everyone, thanks for being here tonight, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Thanks, Reck. Thanks
everybody.
Jeremy.
See ya.
All right.